first.
I'm gonna talk a little and then I'll share some images. So I'm an artist and I teach transformational sketchbook journaling, which is basically it's a mix of words and images. And last year I started doing travel trips, sketch journal travel trips with a company called the Blue Walk. And so last year um, we went to northern Italy on the coast, and we went to Lake Como. And then in the fall, we went to Greece, to several islands in Greece. And so they curate the schedule, and both trips like kind of blew my mind. They're amazing mix of, because they take tours, they basically are a walking tour company, and then they also have artist walking tours. So a lot of it, you're going to get a lot of exercise if you go. But it's also kind of scheduled so that you do have a lot of time on your own as well. But each day includes up to 2 hours or more of art. And where what I like to do is it's documenting your journey and like a travel log. And then I also do some like um, I'm not a plein air artist, but we'll sit outside, and I really love blind contour drawing, which is accessible to everybody because it involves not looking at your paper and just trusting your eyes, what your eye sees and what comes out on the paper. And so it's maybe more of an abstract representation of what we're of the landscape or the buildings or wherever you're at, and or people. It's really fun to do with people. And but so then so each day we do that. And so the trip that's coming up in October, we're going to France October 23rd to the 29th. And we are going to be staying in Nice the whole time at one place, which is really nice because the other trips I took, we were staying at several different places. But then we will take the train and we're going to go to Menton. I'm not going to, pardon my français, um, the Antibes, Cannes, Sur Mer, Villefranche. But it's coastal cities around Nice. And they also offer like outside excursions. I don't have right in front of me what they are for this trip, but like when we went to Italy, you could sign up for a cooking class. When we were in Greece, we went on a private catamaran, luxury catamaran cruise with dinner at sunset. And that was actually our wrap up dinner because everybody had signed up for it. And they usually choose hotels that are family owned, and because they go there quite often with groups, they know the proprietors of the restaurants, and a lot of times they're really small places, and it's just such a warm, friendly atmosphere. And the people on the trips are amazing. I've brought a lot of my own students on the trips, and the minimum for a trip is 10 and the max is 14. So, but even with that size, I mean, the most that I had on a trip, we had 12, I think, when we went to Italy. And it was lovely because you do have time on your own as well. And we have solo travelers, as well as like we had three sisters come on one trip together, and we have had a couple couples. And the person that you bring doesn't, if you bring somebody with, they don't have to do the art part. They adjust the rate if you're not going to do the art part. So I'm just going to real quick, I'm going to share my screen and just show you an example of some of the work that we do.
Yeah, I just love this. I just think it's really. Oop,
Let's see.
somehow we see your computer.
Oh,
There we go. Maybe.
Okay, I didn't have this set up very good before.
Okay.
Okay, let me get this.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has technical
I was
challenges.
like, okay, I was supposed to come on early, and then I was supposed to. So this is an example of a book that I put together when we went to Greece. So it has like the daily lessons, and so you kind of have an idea of where you're going to go each day, and then what we're going to do art wise.
Yeah.
And it also has I have different prompts that you can use to do pages. and then just the different things that we're learning, and as well as some visual things too to help, like with page layouts and different ways you can do landscape. um and then post trip reflections, and like the 5 things that you tasted that you loved the most, the people you were with. um so it's really about encompassing all your senses as well. So, and it just makes you even more present in the trip when you're making the art, because you are, there's one thing to take a picture and be there, but when you're sitting there drawing what you see, you're really present, and it's just such a beautiful way to capture the moment. And you just can't go wrong with creativity. You just have to keep your inner critic, leave it behind, leave it in the States or wherever you're originally from. Don't bring it with. I try to create a really safe place for everybody to share and create in, and just keep it a very positive experience. And so here's some examples of some pages that I created. So this is an example of blind contour. This was in Bellagio, and this was I did while we were on a ferry. I just rode the ferry to all this. There were like 8 stops in Lake Como from my hotel all the way around. We were staying in Verena, and so every time the ferry would stop, I would quick get my pen out. And that's the beauty of blind contour, is you're not looking at your paper, you're doing it pretty fast.
Wow.
I colored it when I got back. I didn't get these all colored, but these are just some examples of some of the buildings I saw.
Oh
And then
my
just,
God.
I teach different ways of just using pattern, and it's really about keeping it fun and lighthearted. These are, I guess this was Italy as well. Um,
Those are just so beautiful, and I think they really do get you engaged in your trip. So because so often we go, and then when we come back, we're like, wait, I remember eating that. What day was
right,
that? Was that before we got on the
right.
boat, or when was that? So this is wow.
And the
Love it.
beauty of this is I look at this and you remember, because I think it's because your left side of your brain is tuned out and you're in your right brain. So I remember where I was when I did that. Like, it just kind of takes you right back to the time and place,
Yeah.
in a really cool way. And then, so these are the daily pages that see if I can back out a little here.
That's so
I
cute.
got
The
it's a document camera, and it's really awesome, but you can see I'm still working on using it. So, so just in my general daily journaling, I have people always start with the date. And so this was actually the day that I flew to Athens for Greece, and like everything from the man spreader on the airplane. Look, there's me smushed over here.
Oh no.
And then this was our hotel. We had a beautiful view of the Acropolis right from the rooftop of our hotel. So just capturing different things about the day and the experience. Um, Here's a page I didn't get colored, but one thing you did today, one thing that you tasted, something I learned. And so, oh, Dionysus, the god of wine and pleasure. um, and then one feeling, joy, hilarity, giggling with Janet in our fairy cabin. um, and then this is just a kind of a crazy page of a bunch of different blind contour drawings. And then here's a page. This is on one of the islands. They said it's shaped like a seahorse. We stayed on a Morgos for almost a week, and just different things about that. And then I was going to show you one more in here. And just different, like this is the blind contour that I did. And actually I colored this when I got back, but even if you just have a little bit of your page done, you can always finish it with a little pattern.
Yeah.
And then here's one, I guess this is Greece also. And this was one of the tours that we went on, and I had a picture of a donkey that ended up looking like a unicorn. afterwards. And then somebody in the trip was talking about, these are just funny stories among the travelers. Someone was talking about telling this crazy story about a colonoscopy. And then we had hiked that day up to this beautiful monastery,
Oh, wow.
and then signs that you see, like just different, it's just such a neat, unique way of capturing your trip, and the things um that really stand out to you. So and
Yeah,
this
that's
was in
beautiful.
Santorini, and yeah.
So, questions for Anne about the experience in France, and that's coming up yet this year, I believe.
Yeah, and there's one spot left for France. So, but I do also have dates for my trip the following year to Italy.
Great.
What are the dates for next year? I'm sorry, what? You're breaking up.
Lisa, yeah, we're having a hard time hearing you. And
She
Anne,
asked the dates for Italy for next year.
Oh, yeah, Italy is well, France is October 23 to 29. And then Italy, we're going to be doing Venice and Parma. And it is going to be I mean, they're all very food focused too, but this is going to especially be they already told me it's going to be much more food focused, which I love that. And there's nothing more fun to draw than who doesn't want to draw the lovely food they're eating. And that's October 21 to 27 of 2024.
nice.
So, yeah.
Let me hit. Any other questions for Anne?
And I had to step out for a few minutes to meet with my contractor.
Uh-huh.
Dates for Italy and France. Do you have a website or phone number?